Hello, friends. Susan Silvers here with Center for Marriage Excellence. I know that during these times there are going to be some difficult marital issues that you want to discuss with your partner. And when it comes to a difficult issue, the most important thing is how you bring it up. You can bring it up in a way that escalates the conflict and will not take you to any kind of productive solution, or you can bring it up in a way that keeps your partner open to hearing and considering what it is that you're saying or that you're requesting. It's also interesting to know that 81% of the time it is the woman who brings up a sticky marital issue and presses for that issue to be resolved. And the reason for that is that physiologically, men are much more reactive than women are, meaning their bodies respond in a different way. So if you and your husband are sitting, having a conversation and you hear a car backfire outside and it sounds like a gunshot, his heart rate is going to go up higher than yours. His breathing rate will go up higher. More stress hormones will be released in his system. All of that will happen to him to a greater degree than it will happen to you. Women by nature are able to calm themselves and soothe themselves in their bodies much more quickly than men are. And that has to do with natural selection going all the way back to the time of cavemen. And I can go into that another day. But for right now, what I want you to know is that this is why women will press for an issue and for resolution, and men generally don't. Men typically want to avoid difficult marital discussions. In fact, one of the worst things for a man to hear is, honey, we need to talk. Because right away they're afraid that they're going to get physiologically overwhelmed. They'll be emotionally and physically overwhelmed. And it's very difficult then for them to calm down. So when you bring up a difficult issue, there are two things you want to avoid. The first is you don't want to criticize your partner. And the second is that you don't want to talk to your partner with contempt. These are two of the four horsemen of the apocalypse from John Gottman's material or John Gottman's research. And a criticism means that I attack my partner's character or personality. So I might say something like, you didn't take the garbage out. You just don't care about how tired I am. You are so lazy and inconsiderate. That is obviously an attack on my partner's character or personality rather than just a complaint about the garbage not being taken out. Contempt is one step worse. It's probably the most damaging of the four horsemen. And contempt is when I talk to my partner with disgust, or I talk to them from a sense of moral superiority. So I might say something like, you didn't take the garbage out. I always do the things I'm supposed to do. I always take care of the tasks I do. You just never do. You're not the husband that I want. That would be a very painful and very contemptuous thing to say to a partner. So a complaint in and of itself might sound bad, but all you're really doing when you make a complaint is that you're talking about the specific situation or behavior that is bothering you. You're also talking possibly about how it made you feel, and then you're making a request. You're asking your partner to do something. So you might say something like, you didn't take the garbage out. It makes me so angry because now the house smells bad. Could you please do it now? You'll notice that there is some negative energy when I say that. It doesn't mean that you're never going to be negative or have any negative energy, but it does mean that you're talking about a specific situation or problem and you are making a request, not criticizing and not treating your spouse with contempt. So once again, if I got up in the morning and I say, oh gosh, the dishwasher is still full. You said that you would empty it last night. This is so frustrating. Could you please empty it for me? That is a complaint that's very different from a criticism or contempt. More about this later, but for now, if you're surfacing a difficult marital issue, make sure that it's not in such a way that's attacking your partner's character or personality, and you're not in some way conveying disgust. For example, if your partner says to you, you're not listening to me, you don't want to respond with, why should I? It's a waste of my time. That's an example of contempt. Hope this is helpful to you. Take care.